The final battle happens in multiple timelines at once. Imagine a theory no one expected to gain traction, but fans swear Season 5 won't be a straight, linear fight. Instead, it could fracture unfolding in different points in time at once. The Upside Down froze on November 6, 1983, and Hawkins kept moving in 1986. So what if the final fight forces the party to battle in both? Past and present crashing into each other. 11 returning to the moment the gate first ripped open, trying to seal it before the tear becomes permanent. Meanwhile, the others fight in modern-day Hawkins, keeping Vecna distracted just long enough for her to finish it. Reddit threads lit up after fans noticed the show's obsession with time clocks, dates, and stalled timelines. Everything loops back to that single day in 1983. According to the theory, the only real way to beat Vecna isn't killing him now, it's stopping the moment he ever gains power. A paradox straight out of the Duffer Brothers playbook. Messy, emotional, and unpredictable. But if the fight splits across time, it might demand a sacrifice no one's prepared for. 11 has to erase herself from existence to win. 11 might have to erase herself from existence to save Hawkins. If the gate never opens, Will never disappears, the party never meets her, and she never escapes the lab. Everybody knows that. Everything that unfolded over 4 seasons, every victory and heartbreak would vanish. Fans speculate that this is the price for sealing the Upside Down. The only way to truly stop Vecna is for 11 to go back to 1983, the night the gate first cracked, and prevent her younger self from ever confronting the Demogorgon. She would stop herself, and the chain of events that defined Hawkins would unravel. Vecna remains trapped, and the town is finally safe. But the cost is unimaginable. 11 would vanish from the timeline. She remembers, but no one else does. Mike doesn't know her, Hopper never becomes her guardian, Max loses her closest friend. Every connection, every memory, erased. Fans point to the show's repeated focus on 11's identity crisis. Who is she without her powers, without her friends? Season 5 might turn that question into the ultimate test. The final battle isn't just about strength, it's about choosing to be forgotten, to sacrifice herself for a world that will never know she existed. And while 11 faces that impossible choice, another familiar figure might be preparing for the fight of his life. Hopper dies holding the gate closed from the inside. Hopper. He's survived Russia, the Demogorgon, torture, and impossible odds. He's the dad who always comes back, the one who stays behind when everyone else escapes. Fans believe Season 5 could be the moment his luck finally runs out. The theory builds on his arc. Each season, Hopper sacrifices himself, holds the line, protects others. Now the EC final battle demands someone strong enough to physically seal the gate from the upside down side. Brave enough to stay. What if Hopper volunteers? Joyce pleads. The kids scream. But he goes anyway, because that's who he is. Closing the gate isn't just heroic, it's lethal. The barrier swallows him, the upside down claiming him as it seals shut. His final words reach Joyce and 11 through the fading portal, a last whisper across time and space. Fans aren't ready, and maybe that's the point. This isn't just a personal sacrifice. It could ripple across Hawkins, forcing the town itself into a choice it was never prepared to make. Hawkins gets destroyed, and everyone evacuates. Hawkins might not survive. The town could be too far gone, swallowed by the infection of the Upside Down. Fans speculate the final battle doesn't just threaten lives, it threatens the place itself. Flames, smoke, and chaos consuming the streets. The military steps in, declaring Hawkins a lost cause. Evacuation orders echo through empty buildings. Controlled burns, bombs, anything to stop the spread before it reaches the rest of the world. The party has hours, maybe minutes, to close the gates, to stop Vecna, or everything dies. Reddit threads are ablaze with theories about how this could look. Streets empty, houses abandoned, the school where they danced reduced to ash. A necessary loss, heartbreaking and absolute. But the chaos might hide a wild card. Murray Bauman, one unexpected ally, might tip the scales. Murray Bauman becomes the key to winning, once the drunk, conspiracy-obsessed comic relief. Now a potential linchpin. Fans think he's more than he seemed. The man who translated Russian secrets, who studied the Upside Down since Season 2, may have been quietly preparing a weapon against it all along. His paranoia, his bunker, the intel he's gathered, it all points to a plan only he could execute. Not on the front lines, but behind the scenes, turning the gates against themselves, collapsing the Upside Down from within. Some fans fear Murray won't survive delivering the crucial piece of information. Yet, before the end, he'll find a moment to tell Joyce exactly what must happen. The unsung hero finally stepping into the light. The one nobody took seriously until it was too late. And while he works in the shadows, the front line might witness an unlikely team-up, a desperate gambit playing out as Hawkins burns around them. The guy nobody took seriously until it was too late, and while Murray works behind the scenes, the front line might see an unlikely team-up. By the way, if you're a Stranger Things fan too, I'd really appreciate it if you could subscribe. It helps more than you know. Steve and Eddie's uncle team up to fight. Steve and Eddie's uncle step onto the front lines. Wayne Munson watched his nephew vanish into the Upside Down. He saw Eddie blamed, saw him die trying to save others. Fans speculate Wayne won't sit this one out. Age has slowed him, but anger fuels every move. He knows how to fight. Steve, the protector, the babysitter, the one who always stood in front, might not stand alone this time. Wayne grabs whatever he can. Bats, makeshift weapons, raw determination, and joins him. Two men who lost what they loved shoulder to shoulder, swinging against creatures that should never exist. The theory suggests they take a critical post, a gate, a narrow corridor, a choke point where demogorgons pour through. They don't retreat, they don't flinch. They swing until their muscles scream, until exhaustion sets in. It's the perfect Stranger Things beat human courage standing against impossible odds. Ordinary people facing horrors that defy reality. But courage alone might not be enough if the enemy evolves beyond recognition. Vecna merges with the Mind Flayer to become unstoppable. Vecna evolves. Fans fear the unimaginable. He merges with the Mind Flayer. Separate, terrifying. Together, apocalyptic. Vecna's calculating mind fused with the hive power of the Flayer becomes a single, unstoppable entity. He doesn't vanish. He becomes the core. Every monster, every spore, every creeping vine is his consciousness. He is everywhere. The party realizes killing him could mean destroying the Upside Down entirely and anyone connected to it, including Max and Will. The choice is brutal. Let Vecna live and risk the world, or strike him down and sacrifice friends. No clean victories, no final applause, just the least terrible path, the one that leaves scars on every soul. And surviving that path might force the party to wield a weapon they swore never to touch, the kind of decision that changes everything. They detonate a nuclear weapon inside the Upside Down. They unleash a nuclear weapon inside the Upside Down. The Russian base in Season 3 hinted at it, gate as a weapon. The Americans have probably been thinking the same thing. Fans speculate Season 5 reveals a hidden contingency. A tactical nuke, small but devastating, engineered to slip through a dimensional rift. The military has been waiting since 1983, preparing for a moment desperate enough to demand its use. In the final battle, the party either steals it, activates it, or convinces the government to deploy it. The blast detonates within the Upside Down, collapsing it from the inside. Every horror, Vecna, the Mind Flayer, the Demogorgons, is annihilated. But the radiation spreads, tainting Hawkins for decades. The town survives the monsters only to face the cost of the cure. It's a dark payoff the show has been hinting at all along. Military presence, surveillance, secret ops. They were waiting for someone desperate enough to make the ultimate call. Yet, even nuclear fire might not suffice if one character finally embraces their true power. Will uses his connection to destroy the Upside Down from inside. Will. The connection he's carried since Season 1 was haunted, possessed, and sensitive. It ties him to the Upside Down. He feels it, senses its pulse, understands its rhythm. Some fans theorize he can reach back, disrupt the hive, and influence Vecna's commands. In the finale, Will steps forward, volunteering to return. The Upside Down claims him again, but this time he's ready, stronger, intentional. Inside, he strikes from within, turning monsters against their master, corrupting the dimension's core, collapsing it. It's suicide, but deliberate, heroic, and precise. Joyce clutches his arm, her voice cracking as she pleads, while Mike's shouts echo through the chaos, begging him to step back. But Will doesn't hesitate. 4 seasons of being hunted, haunted, and tested have forged him into something more than a survivor, into a weapon designed for this moment. Fans speculate he will emerge from the Upside Down alive, but changed in ways no one could have predicted, carrying the weight of a world saved on his shoulders. Perhaps he becomes the Eternal Guardian, a sentinel between worlds, ensuring nothing ever escapes again. His sacrifice mirrors another arc of redemption unfolding elsewhere in the chaos, a counterpoint to loss and courage. Billy Hargrove returns as a ghost to help Max. Everybody knows his story isn't over. He died in Season 3, a final act of sacrifice that saved Eleven and Max, but it somehow felt complete. Or so we thought. But the Upside Down never forgets, and some fans believe Billy's consciousness didn't fully leave this world. Stuck between dimensions, tethered to the chaos he once fought, he lingers. When Max confronted Death in Season 4, she glimpsed him, a fleeting presence some argue was no hallucination. In Season 5, the theory suggests he will return as a spirit, not flesh and bone. He appears to Max when she wakes, guiding her, whispering Vecna's plans, offering her the chance to resist. It's an echo of the brother she never fully had, a ghost seeking one more moment of closure, one more chance to prove his final act wasn't a fluke. It's haunting, unexpected, and profoundly human. And if it becomes true, everyone will lose their minds. For real. But the Upside Down isn't sentimental at all. Not every return will be comfortable. That's why. Hold your breaths for this next one. Bob Newby returns as a Demogorgon hybrid. Bob Newby, the beloved everyman who died in Season 2, may come back in a form fans won't forgive. Torn apart by demo dogs, his body left unrecovered in the lab that sat directly over the gate. Some believe the Upside Down claimed him, transformed him, corrupted him. What emerges in Season 5 could be a hybrid, part human, part monster, wearing Bob's familiar face but carrying nothing of the man he once was. When the party confronts him, Joyce recognizes him immediately. She reaches, she pleads, but he strikes, controlled by Vecna's will. The moment is brutal, a reminder that in Hawkins, death is not always the end. It can be a beginning of something darker, something unrecognizable. And while spirits and corrupted corpses haunt the battle, one location may become the center of it all, a place where every past choice, every loss, and every monster converges. The final showdown happens at Hawkins' lab. It all ends where it began. Hawkins' lab, the fluorescent lights buzzing, the sterile scent of chemicals still in the air, or maybe in the Upside Down's version of it. Every nightmare, every experiment, every monster traces back here. This is where 11 opened the gate, where Brenner twisted children into weapons, where Henry Creel became Vecna, ground zero of all the horrors Hawkins has endured. Fans have noticed the subtle hints all along, the lab's presence in every disaster, every shadow, every whisper of government secrecy. Season 5 pulls the party back, not to the ruined shell, but to a fully realized nightmare. The lab mirrored in the Upside Down, pristine, corrupted, and alive. Vecna has made it his throne room, his fortress. Every hallway pulses with menace. Every room is a trap. They have to fight their way through it, level by level, memory by memory. The rainbow-lit training room where 11 first discovered her power. The isolation tanks where contact with the other side became more than science, it became terror. The corridors where Demogorgons once hunted. Every step drags the party into their past, forcing them to face the trauma they tried to outrun. Fans believe each member will confront a personal trial, a mirror of their deepest fears, before even glimpsing Vecna. Psychological warfare wrapped in metal and shadow. The lab is basically a character, merciless, cunning, and alive with the Upside Down's will. But the hardest fight isn't walking the halls, it's what comes at the center. What if 11 has to die to kill Vecna permanently? What if to destroy Vecna, 11 may have to pay the ultimate price? Not erase herself from existence, not vanish into time, but die. Truly, die. Every fan theory whispers the same impossibility. 11 and Vecna are tied at the core. She banished him before and opened the gate. Their lives and their powers are cosmic counterweights, and the only way to sever that connection and close the gate forever is for one to end. And that one may have to be her. She understands it, of course she does. Without telling anyone, she steps into the final confrontation. The air hums with psychic energy, her heartbeat echoing in the hollow lab. She embraces Vecna on purpose. In a final, impossible act, what would happen if she collapses their essences together, annihilating him, herself, and the gate in one devastating psychic implosion? The Upside Down rips away from Hawkins, and the aftermath is almost worse than the fight. Mike arrives, and the space she stood in is empty. Nothing but ash. Or maybe nothing at all. Hawkins is saved, but the cost is a wound too deep to heal. It's the kind of ending that shatters hearts. Because the girl, who carried it all, could be gone. So which final battle theory sounds the most likely? Drop your guesses in the comments, and let's see who gets closest to what the Duffer Brothers actually have planned.